boom, soon as I hit the corner to my block, I see Raymond. He look at me, he like, I'm looking, I could start walking towards him. Now, here's the deal. When I was at Kiki little get-together party at work, I was on the phone with him before that whole little mess, before she started her little romantic scene on me. Before all that happened, that's who I was talking to. So Raymond was happy to see me. He like, yo, he like, I've been trying to get in contact with you. He like, you know it's going around that Beth trying to jump you. He like, and I just want to let you know I'm in. If I got my ear out, if I find out anything, I'm going to let you know. I'm like, you know what? You're not the first person that told me that. I say, Ashley just came to me earlier. I'm like, and she told me that. I'm like, then she said that Beth went to Cynthia and Cynthia declined it. So Beth trying to get her warriors up to jump me. Why? I think that Beth was low-key jealous of me, because anytime anything was going on, Beth had always been in the mix. She have always been in the mix. Even if it was a point that she was having my back, somewhere at the end, she's going to shank me. Somewhere at the end, she's not going to be a friend. So boom, Raymond like, I just want to let you know, I'm down. I'm like, man, he like, what you gonna do? I'm like, I got to get her before she get me. Like, that's all I'm thinking. But I got to come with a plan. I'm really not prepared. But it's like, okay, I ain't going to ignore that it's you like my second person. You feel me? Then they came to me. And then Ashley I just ain't seen Cynthia yet. So it's like, okay. And no telling who else Beth been talking to. So I'm like, all right, bet it up. So all of a sudden, as we talking, we see Roy. Boom. He comes. He comes on the same block, but he on the phone. But he across the street. Me and Raymond, we're like across the street where his girlfriend house at. So my house is on the same block where Roy's standing at. So Roy like, yeah. Yep, right here. You can run up right now. So it was like, you know how you get that vibe that you know what somebody talking about? So Raymond like, maybe Beth coming right now. I'm like, I need to get to the crib though. Time steady ticking, right? I need to get to the crib. So Raymond like, come on, I'm gonna walk you to the crib. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we start walking. So as we walking on the side that we on, we see Roy walking on Beth and my side of our block. He walking as we walking. So I'm looking at him like, what he on? Because the deal was, once I gave him that $300, we supposed to been straight. We supposed to been good. You shouldn't be following me. If you see me, go the other way. Go the other way. Why are you, bro? Like, I'm finna get bucked and ask for that $300 back, because what you on? Like, that wasn't the deal. So I was kind of low-key heated. So as we walking, I'm like, man, so look, I got to tell you something. He like, what? I'm like, see, he over there on extra. I don't know what he on. I'm like, but I gave him $300 so he can leave us alone. He like, what? I'm like, yeah, because when Marky took the bag, he was giving everybody some. And he said he was missing some. So he kept every other day running up on us, me, him, whoever. And I'm like, we got static with some of his other buddies. I'm like, so I just gave him the $300, you know what I'm saying? To call it quits. Like, look, I paid for my brother pretty much. I don't want to keep dealing. If we ain't got no real beef and we just going to keep bumping towards each other, just talking and talking, like, I ain't about bumping the gums. Look, you want the money, that go to bread, right? So he like, why you do that? I'm like, bro, I don't got time for the extra, right? That's all I'm saying. He like, you should have never did that. He like, you need to get your money back. I'm like, he's supposed to be off that. I'm like, it look like he's still on it. He like, you trust him. You trust him. I'm like, don't do that. So boom. Now I'm across the street. So I'm over there by in between Ashley's and Cynthia house, because they stay kind of like boom, boom. They neighbors. So my house is across the street. But Roy, and then here come Beth. I see Beth. She's coming out her crib. Well, out her mom's crib. She's coming out the crib. And so I look, I'm like, hey, there she go. So he like, we just got to be ready. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let me see something. So I'm looking, right? I'm just looking on the ground. He like, what you looking for? I'm like, I was hoping I could find some rocks. So I'm like, ooh. So I saw that it's somebody in their garden. It was like, but it was like a couple of homes down. They had like these little, You know how you decorate the front of your crib? You got nice little plants, but you got like the rocks right there around the plant. I grabbed some of the rocks and put them in my hand because I wanted to be able, when I hit her or hit whoever running up, I'm trying to knock some teeth out. I'm trying to damage. I'm trying to tear up some stuff. I'm not, like, for real. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to treat these like brass knuckles because you're trying to run up on me. And you trying to, why you trying to jump me? Like, what's the static? It can't be that bad. So boom, Roy looking, right? You see him looking at me as I pick up the rocks and put it in my hand. So he do some like talking to Beth like, so Raymond like, come on. So I go across the street, boom, we're going up because we was a few houses down. Now my house is a few houses down this way. So boom, we cross and now we're going up. So I got the rocks in my hand. And he like, I look, they walking towards us. So I'm like, I see. So Beth like, who put that tire? She still took. Now she just bringing up random stuff. Who put that tire on my doorknob in front of the crib? So I'm like, I don't know what you talking about. So Roy like, yes, you do. I say, so we made a deal. I'm like, so you breaking the deal? He like, what deal? I'm like, what deal? I'm like, the deal I gave you the $300 on, and we fist pumped. I said, don't say nothing to me and don't say nothing to my brother. He like, I ain't saying nothing to you. I'm just here. He like, Beth, my friend. That's Beth. So Beth like, I'm the one got the problem. I'm like, wait, if you want to fight, just say you want to fight, right? She like, I do. She like, swing. I'm like, I don't need to swing. So Raymond like, bro, come on, man. We ain't finna do all that girly stuff. Because Beth was just like, she just talking. She was just buffing. So I'm like, all right. So I walked, right, in the lady yard. And I went around Beth. So Beth was like, I promise you, I'll kick you from the back. So I was like, yeah, do it. When I tell you, Beth kicked me. Like, as I'm walking, like, yeah, kick me then. She, book. When she kicked me, I went like this. Now, here's the deal. I was not nowhere near ready for her to kick me. And not that I'm right here by my crib. Like, oh, you bold. So immediately my mind didn't go into, oh, I got the rocks in my hand, run up and swing on her. My mind went to throw the rocks in my hand. So I had the rocks. I'm like, you crazy? I threw the rocks. She like, oh, so at that moment, she get the charging. Oh, now, think of somebody that's 5'8", 150 pounds, 160 maybe wet. Maybe 160, 150 wet. You talk about me at the time, maybe 5'1", 5'2", okay? And maybe $120 wet, okay? $120 wet. When I'm wet, I'm probably 120. She's charging me. But I don't care because I'm so mad that she kicked me. Soon as she wrapped her arms around me, I just came with my elbow. Boom, right? She like, she let me go. So I'm like, no, get up, get up. So all of a sudden, Roy like, man, watch out. So Raymond like, hey, yo, don't do that. Why you trying to jump in? He like, no, come on, she already down. Let her get up, let her get up. So first off, when somebody down, the first thing you supposed to do is put your stomping game on. You supposed to put your Timberlands on. You supposed to put your Timberlands on and you supposed to go to Stump Town. But I ain't go to Stump Town. I chilled, right? I chilled when I ran up on her because I hesitated. But when I hesitated, you had Roy to come and I'm like, no, let her get up, let her get up. I could have just got a couple of on her real quick. She ran up on me. I did not run up on her. She gets up. She like, all right, you know what? Come on. So she take her shirt off. So now she just got her sports bra on. So I'm like, man, so Raymond like, knock her out, bro. Knock her out. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, come on. I'm like, you really want to do this? She like, I'm so tatty. I'm like, all right. I'm like, don't talk about it. Be about it. So she, I move. I'm like, come on. I'm like, I know you got longer reach than that. So when she hit me, boom, she connect. She hit me this time. But I wanted to eat that. When she hit me, I was already attacking her. She, boom, I was already running so I could bear hug her. Once I bear hugged her, she was like, she was trying to get out. I'm, boom, boom. Now I'm headbutting her. That third one, boom, I'm talking about, I felt like when I did the third one, like this right here was aching. It was like my head was ringing. All of a sudden, Roy jumps in. Raymond jumps in. We're scrapping, bro. We scrapping. So the lady sees that her sensor light is going off because we're going back and forth in front of this lady crib. Okay? This the one that always snitch on Mark when he's sneaking outside. So she comes out. She like, hey, stop all that fighting. Stop all that fighting. So she like, I'm calling the police. So we get up. We stop, right? So Beth like, she like, I'm telling you, I'm finna go tell your mama. I'm like, I don't care. Go tell my mama. I'm like, and let her know you ran up on me. So boom, I'm walking to the crib, but Beth ran. She ran to her crib first. Raymond a dipped. Roy got ghost. I don't know when it was the time, because the last time I checked, Roy was in the fighting with her. Roy dipped. Roy ran hard. In fact, him and the police, it was just like a magic trick. Here he is here, now he's gone type. So boom, I'm walking to the crib. Beth, her mama, they coming out before I even get to my door. I walk in, my mom, my dad, they in the living room. So my mom like, how was work? I'm like, she like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I just got into it with Beth. She like, what? I'm like, Beth trying to get everybody to jump on me. She trying to jump on me. So now I'm crying. My mama say, she trying to get who to jump on you. I'm like, but she just came on me. I'm like, and that boy Roy, and I'm just telling him, like, I gave him $300. She say, wait, hold on, you talking too fast. Now the house bell is ringing because somebody's at the door. So my mama already know. Now, I done told my mom straight through the gate, like she told me, tell me straight through the gate what's something going on, so I'll go out looking embarrassed. So I told her straight through the gate. But I was like, it was just like, it was so much going on. And then plus, I didn't want my mama on my heels. I'm already living in a jail cell room. I don't want to be on extra lockdown. Like, I want this lady to give me a little bit of grace. So boom, she opened up her door. My dad come to the door, and it's Joanne and it's Beth. So Joanne like, May, I need to talk to you. So my mama like, okay, talk. She like, can I come in? My mama said no, straight like that. She like, no, because Roddy Doty said they just got done fighting. So Joanne was like, I need you to see Beth's face. So my mom let Joanne in and Beth in. Beth had this fat, I didn't even know I did that, but it had to be for the rocks or either from the headbutts. But she had a fat knot right here, and it was kind of like semi-bleed, just a little bit. And so she was like, Roddy Doty hit me, Roddy Doty trying to jump on me. And so she crying, right? And I'm looking like that supposed to be my line. I'm supposed to be crying. I'm supposed to be on bending knee. I'm supposed to be on the floor. How you telling everybody you want to jump me, and now you up in here singing? You at a funeral. If you don't eat this up, because this was your fault. So they try to get the sides of the story. I tell them exactly what happened. So boom, Beth say exactly. I said, look, she's been going around telling everybody that she wants to jump me. I'm like, she even told the girl Ashley. So my mom like, okay, and I said she even told Cynthia. So Beth like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. So she went to Cynthia's crib. Asked Cynthia. See, Cynthia and Beth is still best friends. So Cynthia gonna have Beth back just regardless. So she told my mom, no, Beth never said that. My mom went to Ashley. She like, yeah. And she went to Cynthia. So Ashley was the one that saved the day, kind of. My mama came back, waited for Beth and them to come back over there. They came back over there because my mom called them like, all right, I just got done talking to both of the girls. So my mom said, I went to Cynthia's house. And Cynthia said, no, Beth never came to her and said that. But when I went to Ashley, so I was like, I'm telling you, Mom, like, and Raymond. So Beth like, I don't even got no problem with you. Y'all the one put that tire on my door, on our door. So I'm like, I'm still playing the fifth. I don't know what you talk about. So we played dumb. So my mama like, Look, they just don't need to talk no more. Y'all don't talk to each other. Y'all see each other go the other way. You say you gonna jump on Rody Doty. Don't be out here trying to get nobody to jump on my son. Why are you doing it? That's a dangerous game. And if you're gonna do something, Beth, you should do it and keep it to yourself. Just like that. Keep it to yourself. Just like that. Keep it to yourself. You ain't got to broadcast it, right? So boom, Beth leaves. So my mom and Joanne, they was talking. And so Joanne like, we need to really get them together and really see eye to eye. Maybe they really like each other, but people probably are turning them against. So my mama like, no, Rody Doty is not even allowed to be outside making friends with people because Rody Doty don't know how to be a friend. Rody Doty don't even know how to come home on time. So I'm just sitting there like, I don't get up too much. Boom. Joanne leaves. So my mama look at me. She like, my dad say, something is always happening. I'm like, it's always happening because people don't like me. So my dad say, so you trying to tell me you coming home from work and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, but people was coming to me. I'm like, Mom, when you saw me hug her, that Ashley girl, I'm like, she was telling me that Beth was talking to her and was trying to pay her to jump on me. And so she said, what? I'm like, yeah, when you came out there, I'm like, that's what was happening. She said, okay, so she couldn't say that with her lips and not with her hands and arms? I'm like, yeah, but she just asked for a hug. She said, look, you already got a lot going on. Tomorrow, you still got detention. Go on up there and get you some rest. She said, did you bring your brother something back? I did not. I said, oh, I forgot. She said, you got one more time to forget about your little brother. I'm going to forget some meals on feeding you. You got that? And I'm like, she like, he was waiting. His mouth was set for that. So now I'm going to make him some boiled eggs and let him know that you forgot. I said, I'm sorry, Mom. She like, okay, go get in the shower and get yourself ready. So boom, I goes in my room, shut the door. I'm like it was at a point like, man, I could, if I caught a break in that break, it was something that was going on that I just couldn't shake. So boom, I'm already worried about Piper, you feel me? So I see I ain't got no missed calls for her, no texts. I'm like, all right, so I'll call her straight up. She picks up. I'm like, hey. She like, hey. I'm like, I'm calling you because I miss you. She like, I'm just really hurt and I'm finna go to sleep. I'm like, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, right? She like, yeah, you'll see me tomorrow. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm gonna hang up, okay? She like, okay. So I hung up. So when I hung up, I'm like, man, like, I feel like I blew it. I dropped the ball. Like, oh my God. But it was like, when you a teenager, you know, you're not ready for like different type of consequences. Like, oh, I'm going to lose this girl. Oh, it's just like, yo, this is happening. It happened. It wasn't my fault. Like, just accept it. Like, I don't want her. Like, I want you. But it wasn't like that. It was like, you my bae. And that was my lips. You gave me away to somebody else. So that's how it, you know, now that I'm older and I look back, that's the way I think about it, right? So I'm like, all right. So I took the cell phone, put it under my clothes. I took my dry towel, took my undies, boom. Now normally when I get dressed in the bathroom, I just only take like undies and stuff like that, and then come in my room and then, you know, get myself together, like oil myself up and then put on my clothes. So boom, I went on ahead, got in the shower. So it takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get out the shower, because I like to make sure I see my hands wrinkly. So I be in the shower to like a long time, pretty much. So boom, I get out the shower, I get myself together, and so I'm like, man, I want to call Piper. So my mom like, Rody Doty, dinner is ready. Make sure you come down here and get your dinner. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming. My mom being cool, smooth. So I'm trying to lotion myself up. All I hear is do 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 do. I'm like, who is it? You knocking on, you ain't even take a break so I can even say who you. I open the door. It's Kayla like, my butt itch. He like, hey, you want to play Sonic with me? I'm like, no. He like, please? I'm like, no. He like, well, I'm going to tell mom and mom going to make you. I'm like, okay, I played 1 round. I'm like, but mom got dinner ready. He like, I already ate. I'm like, what you eat? He like, Popeyes. I'm like, she got you Popeyes? He like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. He like, and you forgot my rib tips. He like, don't forget my rib tips no more, or I'll make sure mom keep you on punishment. You'll have to do everything I want you to do and even lick my feet. I'm like, get out my room. He like, no, play with me. I'm like, get out. He like, please stop. I'm like, get out my room. Let me get dressed. So I shut the door. He like, you're mean. And he storms off, right? So I get dressed and I'm like, wait, where's the cell phone? Where is the cell phone? Because when I went in the bathroom, I always kept the cell phone under the clothes. Like the clothes I was going to wear was like the clothes right here. The cell phone will always be under. So when I get dressed, I grab the cell phone, put it in my pocket. So I'm like, where? And I'm checking, right? I'm checking in what I already had on. I'm like, I remember talking to Piper on the phone. So I'm like, where is the phone? So I'm looking high, low. I'm looking in places that I already know that is not even there. So now I'm panicking. So I go in the bathroom. Now I'm looking in the bathroom. So I'm like, So I'm trying to get in. So Caleb, he in his little chair got the wheels on it. He push it, open the door. He like, what? He gaming to get his headphones on. He like, what? I'm like, open the door. He like, nope, you didn't want me in your room. What do you want? I'm like, you saw a phone? He like, what? I'm like, did you take anything in my room? He like, you have nothing in your room to take. I'm like, I do have stuff in my room you can take. I'm like, did you take anything in my room? He like, no, I didn't. I get from my door. He shut the door. I'm like, what? Let me go. So I go downstairs. Marky like, yeah. I'm like, yo, can I come in? He like, yeah. So I open up the door. I'm like, bro. I'm like, my cell phone, you saw it? He like, no, I ain't seen no cell phone. I'm like, bro, I had it upstairs in my room. He like, did you check in your room? I'm like, yeah. He like, come on, let's just go check again. So he comes upstairs with me. Now I'm looking in my room. Now, I ain't got nothing in my room. I could be able to spot a crumb on the floor. It's nothing in there. So I'm looking. And so he like, you sure you didn't leave it behind? I'm like, no, bro. I literally called Piper before I got in this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to this girl. So I went downstairs and I was like, I wanted to, my mom and dad was sitting there, but it's like, I couldn't say nothing. I didn't supposed to have a phone. So my mom like, come on, get ready to eat. Your food is getting cold. And I'm like, okay. She like, why you looking like that? I'm like, nothing. I'm like, thanks. So boom, I go in my room, I go eat, right? Mark been in his room. I go in my room, I go eat. So I'm just like, I couldn't focus. So my mom knocks on the door, She like, hey, run my jacuzzi water. I'm finna go to get ready to get myself set. She like, and you make sure you get ready to go to bed because you already know tomorrow is your last day of detention. I say, yeah. I'm like, okay. She like, I love you. She give me a kiss. She just super sweet to me. So I'm like, I love you too. So she going on here. She walks away. I start her jacuzzi water. Boom, everything happens. Boom, my mom finally get out the jacuzzi. Now she goes in her room and she goes to lay down, her and my dad. I'm in my room losing it. I'm in the room having a moment like, where is the phone? Like, I'm even checking in the closet. I know, where is it? I'm looking everywhere. Like, I don't know. I was in the living room I'm looking, man, look, I came out the room. I'm still searching. I gave up. Boom. I went to sleep. I gets up. I started getting dressed. So my mom gets up. I was up before her. So she gets up. So she's looking at me. She like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, I'm ready. Right? So she like, look, I want you to come straight home. You work tomorrow? I'm like, I work tomorrow and I work today. She like, well, you're going to have to ask them to give you tomorrow off. I got something to do. I said, okay. So I was like, well, I work today though. She said, okay. So she said, look, don't go to that school showing out. Don't say nothing to Beth. When you come back home, you see Beth, put your head down, look the other way. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to end up giving her a show. I'm going to be you for a day. Because it seemed like she just want to pick on you. So I was just like, okay, boom, I leave out, right? All of a sudden, as I'm leaving out, Mark comes behind me. He like, Rody Dodie. I'm like, what? He like, hey. I'm like, what you doing now? He like, you want me to come up to your school with you? I'm like, how did you get out the door? He like, Mom was upstairs, and I just straight came as soon as she went upstairs. I'm like, well, if you want to. He like, all right, I'm going to come to detention with you. So now me and him, we're walking together. Now, here's the deal. Mark is just always up to something. So I'm thinking that he finna come kick it with me at the school. But he want to make sure that I'm safe. So as we getting closer to the bus stop and we get on the bus, I'm like, bro, how am I get you in the school? Right? How am I get you in the school? He was like, I don't know. He like, maybe like the side way like you been showing me. I'm like, no. I'm like, but it's detention. I'm like, they wouldn't know, right? He like, they shouldn't know. He like, and I want to make sure you good, man, because Beth trying to jump on you. He like, I don't want nothing happening. If Mom asks, I'll just tell her, I made sure that you was okay, and I came to meet you at the bus stop. I'm like, but what if Mom wants you to clean? He like, so what? I'm already in trouble. I'm like, you better let her know that this is not my fault. I'm not going down for this. You better let this lady know that this is your fault. This is your idea. I didn't. But see, this is when I'm supposed to be a big brother and tell him no to stay at home. But at the same token, he's only a year. I'm 1 year older than him. That's it. He could have, look, if I tell Mark no, it's still like saying yes. No matter what, whatever Marky want to do, he's still going to do it. No matter if I said don't do it. The only time he's saying no, when I say don't do it, is if it's very, very, very important. But when it comes to protecting me, Caleb, or anybody in the sort, he own it. He just own it. So boom, we get to my school. And so I was like, all right, so look, we're just going to walk straight in. Just follow me. So boom, we walk straight in. And ain't no teacher there. Now, me and him is the first one there. So I was like, man, I should have brought Piper a flower, right? I was like, I should have brought her flowers. So I'm like, he like, man, don't worry about that. I'm like, man, I think she ain't gonna talk to me no more. He like, no, she gonna talk to you. I'm like, that girl Kiki. So Mark like, well, she is fine. So now Mark's sitting behind me and we just talking. So here come Brianna. Brianna spot smart. So Brianna like, but she didn't say nothing. The girl with the scar come in. She see Marky. So she say, you do not supposed to be at this school because you don't go to this school. So Marky like, how do you know? I'm new here. So I'm looking, I'm like, where is Piper? So the bell ain't ring yet. So I'm like, Marky, I'll be back. So the girl with the scar like, I'm telling the teacher that you don't supposed to be here. So I'm like, you always trying to tell on somebody, man. I'm like, he ain't even doing it to you. She like, but why he in the class? I'm like, cause I said so. So she said, so like I said, I'm telling the teacher. All right, whatever. So I'm looking. Boom, I see Piper. So I hurried up and I start walking towards her. I'm like, hey, come here. She like, hey. I'm like, hey. I'm like, you okay? She like, yeah. I'm like, look, stop. I'm like, I miss you. She say, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I do. She like, I called you and called you. You didn't even pick up for me last night. I'm like, my phone. I'm like, I lost it. I don't even know where it's at. I'm like, last time I had it is last time I talked to you. She like, well, you was with that other girl. The girl at your job. And then she walks off. I'm like, Piper, don't do that. Piper. It was like, it was eating my heart up. And I'm like, because I care so much. And I'm like, and I knew I dropped the ball. And the only thing I could do is beat myself up. So I'm like, so she goes in there. So she sees Marky as I'm coming in. So she looks, she like, hey. So my brother like, hey, Piper. So I sit down behind Piper. So it's like Mark, me, and Piper. Then it's Brianna, and then it's the girl with the scar sitting behind Brianna. So the teacher come. So Brianna put her hand up and she was like, can I go to the bathroom? Straight like that. And so then the girl with the scar, she put her hand up. She like, yeah. And the teacher ain't even said she can talk. She like, yeah. She just raised her hand up like, and yeah. And he don't supposed to be in. He don't even go to this school. So the teacher like, who assigned you to this detention class? He like, the principal. So I'm like, it's gonna be a green. Now, you know me and Mark, we got our codes. If I say it's gonna be a green, that means he need to run. If I say it's gonna be a red, that's mine. If he say it's gonna be a red, that means I run. So I'm letting him know he need to run. I'm letting him know he need to Mustang Sally. He need to get the Speedy Gonzales. He need to get to running. So he was like, well, I'm gonna go. So the teacher was like, well, I'm gonna go get the security guard and the principal to make sure. So he like, okay, as soon as the teacher left, I said, go. I said, meet me in the football field. He just dipped. So I looked, I'm like, you always saying something. She like, and so? She like, I'm tired of you. It's always you. Well, what you want? What you got to prove? Because Brianna don't like you no more. And she do like that dude that gave her that bracelet. She just don't want to tell you to hurt your little baby feelings. She don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm like, she can't hurt my feelings. Like, what? So I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, what else? So Piper like, no, stay in control. Just look over here. Don't look at her. She like, yeah. And your girlfriend not even all that because your girlfriend probably got another boo. Anyway, so Piper turned around like, you just mad. Why you jealous? So all of a sudden, as I'm arguing, Piper's arguing, the girl with the scars arguing, Brianna comes. She tell the girl with the scar, like, chill, stop. That's the first time. Now, mind you, when me, my mom, Brianna, and Brianna mom, we had that talk, we supposed to be having each other back. But this is the first time I ever seen Brianna initiated it like that. So she was like, hey, she tell her friend, like, stop, relax. So she like, oh, you want to take up for them? You want to take, you know what, fine, I ain't going to say nothing else. So she gets up from her chair and sits at another desk all the way in the back. So boom, the teacher comes with the security guard and the principal. But now he vanished. So all of a sudden the teacher say, hey, where's that young man? So the girl with the scar was like, oh, that's his brother. So Brianna turned around like, why are you doing that? She said, you know what? Fine, I won't never have your back. I won't say nothing. So the girl with the scar like, I won't never have your back. I won't say nothing else. Now they're beefing. They're going back and forth. So Brianna like, you're just doing way too much. Like, he didn't even say nothing to you. You ain't even have to say all that. Why you got to be a snitch? She say, I'm just trying to have your back. So now they're going back and forth. So the principal like, hey, y'all supposed to be friends. Relax, like, you're straight telling them, like, take a chill pill. Like, okay, there's no need for everybody to get to yelling. So, boom. The principal and the security guard leave, and the teacher give us assignments. So, now we're doing assignments. I don't have no phone. I don't know what Mark at. Right now, I got a lot going on. I got, you know what I'm saying, Brianna getting into it with her friend. I don't know what's going on with that. And then, now I'm dealing with me and Piper. Piper think that I'm low-key. You know what I'm saying? Chilling with the girl at work because I didn't respond to the phone calls. I don't got no phone. I don't know where the phone at. So, boom, time ticks. We got lunch. We go for lunch, right? So, as we go for lunch, I see that the girl with the scar, she by the door. She didn't come to the cafeteria. She was at the door, like at the front entrance. And you see these people that I never saw them none of the semesters. I never saw them in none of the classes. I have never seen them, period. So, but they look like they were just on some. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it was two dudes. And so she was talking to them. So I'm just like, immediately, I'm always paranoid. So I'm like, man, I ain't got no phone. I don't know Raymond number by heart or nothing. So I'm like kind of in a dress. So I'm like, man, I'm probably going to have to leave a little early, right? That was my plan. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I need to find Mark. So boom, I see Piper. She comes into the cafeteria. So I see her in the line. So I gets out the line, I grab her. I'm like, you're not eating lunch? I'm like, come on. She like, yes, I am. I'm like, no, you're not. Come on. So we walk in. She like, why are you doing this? I'm like, I got to go find my brother. I'm like, I think they possibly trying to set us up. She like, who? I'm like, the girl with the scar. I'm like, so we need to leave early. She like, but we gonna get in trouble. I'm like, okay, we just get in trouble. I'm like, it's all right. So I go on the football field looking for Mark. I see Mark on the football field. He's sitting there chilling. Everybody like out there playing football. Mark is chilling. I'm like, Marky. I'm like, let's go. He like, what? I'm like, I think the girl with the scar. I'm like, I think she got somebody up here for us. He like, all right, well, what she want to do? I hope she got guys. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, we finna go right now. He like, right now? He like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, we finna go right now. So Piper like, I still need to go get my things. Now, mind you, lunch just started. So that still give us enough time. I said, all right, so come on. So boom, we walk back into the school. Me, her, and Mark. Get back into the school. We go straight to our detention class because it was several different type of detention classes. So we go in there. Piper get her stuff that she left on the desk. Boom. As we in the hallway and she's at our locker, because me and her were sharing a locker, she grabbing her stuff. The girl with the skylight, wait till after school. That's what she kept saying. Wait till after school. She like, I'm going to get you, and I'm going to most definitely get you because you know what? You think you a player and you ain't no player. I'm like, yeah. So Marky like, you ain't going to do nothing to my brother. So she like, I'll do something to you too. You jump in. She like, trust me. I definitely got some people that got them bangers. So we thinking about like, pew, 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 pew. But she was talking about them hands. So Mark was like, I got some people that got bangers too. She like, no, we talking about hands. So Mark like, I got hands, right? I could get down how the way I live. So she said, yeah, y'all better watch y'all back. But she didn't know we was already leaving. So boom, we end up leaving at the whole entire building. We gets on the bus. So Piper just hanging with us until it's time for, you know, school to really be out and she could be on her way home. So we on the bus. So I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. She's sitting next to me, Mark in the back. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. She's like, you promise? I'm like, I promise. I'm really sorry. I'm like, I don't like nobody though. I really like you. So she grabbed me. Like she straight up grabbed me. And she was like, she started kissing me and I just scooted her close to me. And we was locking lips for like a good minute or two. And I'm like, you my baby. She like, no, you mine. I'm like, I heard. I'm like, she like, get my lips away again. We're going to have a problem. I'm like, I didn't even know she was going to kiss me. She like, yes, you did. You knew. So she kind of played smack me. Boom. We good. We get off on our stop. So Marky like, you think I should sneak back in the house? I'm like, yeah. He like, no, but I'm already out here though, bro. So as we walking, we see Roy, right? So Roy like, just the person I want to see. So Marky like, I'm finna lay him out. I'm like, all right. I said, hey, Piper. I said, look, all you need to do is just stand right here, okay? She like, okay. I'm like, if anybody try to move, I'm like, I'm gonna help my brother. So all of a sudden, it's just Roy. He walking up. So he like, what's up? So Marky like, man, what do I say, hey, what you on? I said, watch out, bro. I said, what you on? I said, I gave you $300. He like, yeah. He said, you give me, he like, but I owe interest. So we like, we ain't got nothing to do. Your request was $300. Right? I was praying that Raymond or somebody came around the corner. He like, no, he like, I want your brother because he got a lot of mouth. I'm like, you're not touching my brother. He like, I'll take both of y'all. Mark like, look, man, I ain't even really got no static. Boom! Mark hit him with the, man, I ain't really got no, boom. Mark hit him. I hit him. Now we basically jumped him. He tried to get up, tackle both of us, but we ain't going. We full fresh charge, ready to roll. So boom, we hurry up, we break running. So Piper looking. So he gets up and trying to check Piper behind me. But Piper, I look at Piper, I'm like, come on, run. So I'm like, Marky, we gotta stop. Because he was running behind Piper. So Marky looked, so we both, boom, we start running back that way. He like, come on. So now I'm like, Piper, run up, keep going towards the stop sign. So Marky like, yeah, what's up? He like, bet. He like, I'm gonna bring my peoples. We coming to your crib. That's all Roy kept saying. And it was like, dude, I gave you $300. Y'all remember that? What happened to the lock? Boom. So Piper like, oh my God. I'm like, this is what I've been going through. My mom been on my heels. I'm like, and this dude won't leave me alone. She like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Is he okay? So Marky like, look, I gotta find a way to get back in the house. So I said, the front door. I'm like, I'll go in first. And I'm like, I'll flag you. I'm like, you just stay on the side of the house. He like, all right. So Piper like, should I go home? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, your mama to pick you up from here though. I'm like, I'll wait for you. So Mark like, huh? No, we need to get back in the house. I'm like, no, let's just dip to the park. So boom, we dip to the park. We sitting at the park. I don't see Raymond nowhere or nothing. Like normally I see Raymond on the block doing at least a couple of serves. I don't even see him. Boom, I'm chilling. And we at the park. So boom, she calls her mom. Her mom like, what you doing over there? She was like, oh, we end up just testing and getting out early. She was like, and I was hanging out, you know, with my boyfriend. Boom. Her mama come pick her up. She like, all right, see y'all. I'm like, see you. She like, just see you. I'm like, whew. So she like, I got it. Oh my God. I'm like, where mine at? So she give me a kiss. So her mom was like, y'all are so cute. I'm like, all right. So Marky like, all right, Loverbird, you ready? I'm like, yeah, come on. So he like, all right, what's the plan? I'm like, look, you're going to stay on the side of the house. That's where Miss Smith at and my mom's house. I said, you're going to stay on the side of the house. Once I go in, make sure the clothes clear, I'll let you come in. He like, all right. So boom, I get to the front door. I get to it. I'm at the front door. I'm like, now I know normally is, you know, this is the time that my mom would be back there in the bar. Doo-doo. Open the gate. Doo-doo. Front door now opening. As soon as I walk in, my mama's sitting there with Raymond. So I'm like, my mama say, surprise. I'm like, my mama like, look at that face. That's what a surprise face look like. I'm like, hey, my mama like, you wondering what's going on, huh? I'm like, she said, so the cell phone, you remember this? So I looked, I'm like, and my man like, there go my phone right there. I was looking for it. And she like, when we was talking and you showed me that schedule and you showed me the phone, I wanted to act like I didn't even see it. But you was real bold by showing me what you had a phone. And I remember last time you said Raymond gave you the phone. And Raymond was blowing this phone up. A lot of other individuals too. And I picked up on every call. Now, that Piper girl, because I saw you had some horrors by her name, I didn't pick up for her. I didn't want to fully embarrass you yet, but I will embarrass you today. I'm going to embarrass you today. So, you had a phone. I told you couldn't have a phone, right? I'm like, yeah. Now, in my mind, I'm like, dang. But I wanted to prove that the schedule was changed. It's just slipped my mind. As a teenager, you think that you being so sneaky, you sneak yourself. So I was like, oh, I forgot. Like, I forgot I did that. So Raymond was sitting there. So she say, Raymond, I'm going to only tell you once. I know you want to be a good friend. Don't get him not a damn another phone. You get him another phone, it's going to be a problem with me and you, sir. You get that? He like, yes, I got that. She said, I don't got no problem with you, your mama, or your sisters. And I don't want to start bringing no problems down now. Don't get him another phone. See, the way you do things, he don't do things like you do. Because he don't know how to operate like a real good friend. He don't know how to be a good son and tell his mama everything that he doing. So I'm looking like, okay, now you want to embarrass me in front of him. So boom, she give Raymond the phone back. So he like, hey, Roddy Doty, let me talk to you. My mama said, ain't no talking. But Raymond, thank you for coming in and telling me and being honest about certain stuff that I asked you. I appreciate you. But you are now dismissed. I want to talk to my son, my smart, genius son. And so he like, all right. So I looked at him like, what did you what did you say? So he walked out. My mom looked at me. She said, you just had a phone, just doing whatever you want to do. Sneaking out, hanging with girls, you telling stories where you at. You real grown, huh? You love these phones, huh? She said, but when you ain't got no fingers to be able to dial and call nobody, what you gonna do? So I'm looking. She said, I got something for you. I got something for you because you love the phone so much. You love the phone, right? So I'm like, she like, yes, you do. You love the phone. I got something for you. I got a phone for you. So she went. In her room, she grabbed the house phone. She put the phone in my hand, right? She said, hold the phone in. Now, mind you, I had rocks in my hand when I had hair belt, so my hand was kind of hurting. So I tightened the phone up. She said, keep it just like that. So she like, you like to have it to your face right when you took. I'm like, yeah. She took my hand and was like, made me hit myself with the phone, like, boom. I'm like, oh. She like, oh, you yelling at me? You know what? So she went upstairs. So in my mind, like, okay, I still was thinking like this is the time to let Mark in. So I hurried up, I opened up the door and I was like, so he hurried up, he broke run, he came in. So he ran down the stairs and you hear the front door, you hear the alarm, everything. Front door now open, you hear him running in. My mama like, oh, you think you gonna run away? But she thought I was leaving out the door. But I looked at her, she said, you open my door?